our next speaker with us, who is Romulus Whitaker. Many of you would know Rom very well, and I've had the privilege and the pleasure of also knowing Rom as a teenager. And Rom is founder director of Madras Crocodile Bank Trust, herpetologist, and coordinating so many issues of endangered species. He's honorary consulate of the International Union for Conservation of Nature, and he knew my father again from way back. And so with no further delay, welcome Rom, and looking forward to what you have to say to us.
Greetings, everyone. Thanks, Mimi, for the very nice introduction. In the mid-1970s, when I first met M.A. Parthasarathi, the World Wildlife Fund had recently been started by Zafar Fateh Ali and others in Bombay. And meeting these wonderful, like-minded people at the Bombay Natural History Society, we offered to start a Southern Regional Office of WWF at the Madras Snake Park. Well, we did, and we did a lot of education work, but engaged as we were with snake studies and crocodile surveys around the country, our WWF work was not as dynamic as it should have been, I have to admit. And we gladly handed over the Southern Regional Office to Parthasarathi, as we called him, in Bangalore. His enthusiasm and energy made things happen, and soon we saw the formation of a large number of committed conservationists, many of them young students, taking up the cause. My own personal bandwagon was, of course, snakes and other reptiles, as most of you know. And starting India's first reptile park was a great beginning in getting people interested in reptiles. But it was the WWF support for our surveys of crocodiles and sea turtles which yielded solid results and showed people, and the government in particular, the dire problems facing our wild reptiles. IIT dropouts like Dhruvajyoti Basu, who spearheaded gharial conservation, and Satish Bhaskar, whom we call Mr. Sea Turtle, were at the forefront of conservation and inspired many others to follow in their footsteps. Yes, we may be called dedicated conservationists, but don't forget, what we are doing, going to the most remote wild places in this wonderful country, was a great lot of fun. Yeah, some hardships too, of course. Basu, on one of his trips to the Chambal River, had a run-in with Poolan Devi, the bandit queen, and luckily got away by gifting her his binoculars. And Satish had a harrowing 4 months of isolation on the uninhabited island of Suhelipara in Lakshadweep, studying green sea turtles there. I had a few close calls and personal encounters with king cobras and saltwater crocodiles, but I managed to survive them all. And today, this is my message to those of you out there who are interested in pursuing studies and a career in wildlife. Instead of engineering or IT work, as your parents might wish, sorry parents, follow your heart. India needs you and your deep interest in wildlife and wild places. There are already plenty of engineers and IT specialists out there. What we sorely need are passionate young people like you who love nature and who are willing to fight to protect the planet from devastations like climate change. This is an opportune time to remember those very exciting years of the early 70s when India's conservation movement was born, and felicitating stalwarts such as M.A. Parthasarathi. And it's also a time in the history of our planet to stop patting ourselves on the back. There is still so much work to do. Go for it, kids.
Thank you so much for this very crisp and clear message, Ram. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful session. I just thought I'd ask you, you've actually put it all together, that there should be more people engaging in this particular space of wildlife conservation and nature conservation, unlike the other sectors. But you see, the thing is, there is also a need for a cost remuneration, right? People are looking for a job, for a salary, and how they're going to continue to move ahead of that. What do you think has been in your journey, because you've dedicated your life in this space, in growing your income or growing as in corporate life, because that's what we need, the shift?
Yeah, I have to agree totally. And I just see so many good things happening now. And the advice that Dr. Gadgil has just given us about making sure that the people who live with and next to nature are one of our prime concern has to be emphasized to a great degree.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Rom, and I look forward to meeting you soon and to connecting with you again for many such conversations. Thank you again for being part of this session. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.